Rise and shine. Google's go top on a Monday morning, and that's why you get flexed. 2-6 off to Philly. That's a gut punch yesterday. That one hurt. I mean, it leaves, I think, for all of us, a pretty stone-written conclusion. All right, I don't know what your goals shift to. I don't know how we handle this unbelievable disappointment for the second half of the year. There'll be no redo of the 2022 magic and season. We know these games that are coming up, right? We've talked about them. We know the stretch that began yesterday with the Green Bay, and man, what a gut punch. Oof, that one hurt. We've had a couple real gutters this year, and it's been against two good playoff teams, Houston and Green Bay. We just don't have what it takes to finish, man. It's just something a little bit off, and that was exacerbated by the end of the game yesterday, but more on that in a second. It had the sound of transition that a coach makes from knowing you're close and keeping that carrot out there to a real sense of devastation. Here's Doug Pederson after the 3-point loss.
Yeah, I mean, they're devastated. They're heartbroken. They battled their tails off. They fought to the end, quite frankly. That's all that I can ask for. But I also want them to understand, too, that these games come down to about 3 plays. Can't give the ball away like we did late, deep in our own end. We didn't tackle very well defensively. So there's some things that we need to clean up and continue to clean up if we want to, get back on track.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the cleanup process is not going to have still that ultimate overall goal and keeping it together and moving forward. I mean, you've probably heard by now, injury to insult yesterday. By the end of the game, the top 3 receivers were all out of the game, and Christian Kirk's gone for the year. Take it from a member of the Broken Collarbone Club. I knew exactly what Christian Kirk's injury was as soon as he rolled over from the way he was acting. That collarbone injury will sideline him. So much for any trade value, if that were part of the plan. And Kirk's name is by far the one that ultimately, as we move toward next week's trade deadline, had become the hottest name on the Jaguars roster. We'll see how they handle, the rest of things. By the end of the fourth quarter yesterday, here's a football team trying to rally from 10 down with Tim Jones and Parker Washington, your primary receivers. So we'll see on the status of Gabe Davis and Brian Thomas Jr. Listen, credit to the guys who were in there. Ingram stepped up, made a huge play late, and the receivers caught the ball, and they moved down the field. I think I'd sum up Trevor's day yesterday. He dug him a hole, and then he got him out of it. And then just this defense seems so prone to big, wide-open plays. We're a minute and a half to go, man. How does a guy get so wide open? And why can't players think on the run? Why can't they be more situationally aware as fans? E.T., as soon as that man caught that ball, you know what the first thing that popped into my head was?
What's that?
Let him score.
Yep.
Just let him go in.
Yep.
He's at the 10-yard line. We have no timeouts. Game over if you don't let him score. And then, by the way, it caught up, right? Wait, maybe we should let him score. And by then, Green Bay didn't score, right? They took a knee. Just let the man go. And I get it, man. Caught in the competition, you got to chase him down. Never quit. I understand. But there's a second level of chess here.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to think.
You got to be knowing it. And listen, I'm not saying you think ahead of time, if I'm beat, I let him score. No. That's negative thinking. I'm saying in that moment, right then, split decision. All right, let him go. I thought that. Now I'm not in the middle of that play, right? I'm not chasing down embarrassment, getting beat. But as soon as he caught that ball and once he got down there about the 15-yard line and we had an angle, I'm like, just pull up, let him go in. Now, maybe he would have done the same thing and taken a knee at the 1. I don't know. Letting him score, taking a knee has nothing to do with the fact that dude was running wide open, man. We're letting a cast-off quarterback hit plays like nobody's business. And, yeah, Trevor dug him a hole, and he got him back out, but that fumble is what lost the game. Without that fumble, they probably win the game. Maybe not. Maybe they go 3 and out. They punt, return it for time. I mean, I don't know what happens from that point on, but I do know down 3, trying to keep some momentum in the second half. That ball getting punched out. Down, man, we've had 2 punch outs at the 3-yard line this year that have killed the season. Etienne's fumble in Miami going in for a score, and then Trevor's yesterday. First time it's happened this year. He's been so good at the ball security, but that was a tough spot. Now, again, it put him down 10 in the 4th. And he got him back to a tie with some help. What a catch. What a throw and catch. He threw it by the only place where your guy could get it, and boy, Evan Ingram went up and got it. But it just leaves you now with this stark reality of 2-6, and, not much hope, at least sitting on this side. Some losses hit different. Foye Aluakin.
For sure, it's a gut punch, and I just don't like losing any game. It's a gut punch, and when we right there, we play so hard, and obviously there are times we played better, times we didn't play as good this game, but we was right there ready to win it, and we didn't, so that's tough.
Yeah, they're right there in it to win it. They are. They're right there. You can't go for 2 there. There's some thought there. I mean, we would be absolutely marching downtown if they'd gone for 2, not gotten it, and then just kicked off and Green Bay kneels and wins the game. We would have lost our mind. Agreed? You got a backup quarterback. You've come from 10 down in the 4th. You tie the game, and you just pray the football gods that the defense can do its job, and that has just been a futile prayer. They played pretty good most of it. They still can't get to the passer. Still no pass rush. Yesterday, just gashed by the run, 120. Josh Jacobs just ran all over him. Looked like he reminded me of Derrick Henry out there, quite frankly. Smaller man, but bouncing off of guys, finishing with an extra couple yards, and then the speed to break the deep one. But, man, these are good football teams that we're just right down to the wire and losing on last-second kicks to. And, man, it just, pardon the phrase, but we're all grown men here loading up the trucks. It sucks. It does. Evan Ingram's going to have to step up even more. Still nursing that hamstring. It looks like he's finally back to full strength. He really came alive in the 4th quarter when they needed him. Again, they lost Kirk, Thomas, and Gabe Davis. I mean, they're out there running routes with multiple tight ends, Parker Washington and Tim Jones. What you're down to by the end of the game, and Ingram came up big in the clutch. Wasn't enough, though. Defense faltered. Brandon McManus wins. Jags, 2-6, Evan Ingram, 2-6. Season over?
Hell no, the season's not over. You know what happened here. We were in a way worse spot later in the season, so I think today we were that today. Everybody was, playing their asses off. Believing the legacy for themselves and for our team, and that brought us down to the wire against a really good team. So I'm saying that just we got to continue to do that, continue to build on that, and if we have that outlook, we're going to get the best out of our guys for sure.
All right, Trevor certainly wants to have a couple of plays back from yesterday. I'll grant you the interception. That corner just kind of deked him. I never saw him right. That you thought the corner was. We saw Trevor with a similar interception to that. Was it the Houston game maybe? So that's probably maybe there's a little hole there, something we got to watch. Well, that outside corner leaves this guy and he's jumping. And yesterday you would have hit Kirk right in stride. It's like he never saw him. So that happens, right? The fumble way more egregious, especially where it happened on the field. Well, lucky for us, he didn't just clang it off his knee or his thigh or just let it slip out of his hands, carrying the ball too far away from his body. And it didn't have to get punched out. It just barely got swiped. Just terrible ball security. That, especially where you are on the field. And golly, later, if we didn't almost give it back again on a shotgun snap, so that was bailed out by a field goal. And again, ultimately the defense stopped. We get the ball back. It's a beautiful drive. Again, by that time with no Kirk, no Brian Thomas, and no Gabe Davis. But you'll hear from Trevor when we come back on the other side.
Hey, Mia here, and thanks so much for watching 1010XL Jaguars. For even more coverage of the Big Cats, be sure to subscribe to 1010XL Jaguars.